thanks for making time to do this before you guys jet off overseas. When do you leave?
Absolutely. We live on next Tuesday.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've got a few days left.
Yeah.
How are
yeah.
we feeling?
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny,
Frantic.
like the for so long it was because we had a break after off touring for a little bit and knew that this date was coming in the future, but in my head it's always been like it's far
Yeah.
away. And
We're
now it's
definitely going overseas at
like
some
five
point.
days away. Yeah, and now it's 5 days away and it's like, oh, it's very close now.
I
Yeah,
think
but that's exciting to have it kind of creep up, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's like the amount of time we're away for as well is like I still kind of haven't really like come to terms with it. Like so we get back in
Yeah.
so it's like just shy of 3 months, or two and a bit months that we're away for, which is but like I'm gonna be a shell when I get home.
Was that something that like do you guys talk about that when you're getting the offers come through or whatever, being like, okay, like this is gonna be this, and 'cause it's not just one tour, right? You're doing like one and then sliding into another.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, so there's like 6 days between the last show with the Thornhill tour and the
Yeah.
start of the tour in the States. And we got those offers, I want to say, within the same week. And
Mm.
like
Okay.
they're
And both of them were offers that we couldn't refuse.
I was thinking, what if I cannot refuse?
No, we couldn't refuse.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So did you have the discussions when they came through of being like, even though they're both tours you can't refuse, of like, you know what this means? Like we're committing to 11 weeks of hell.
We kind of I don't want to say we were like in a position where our hand was forced because we weren't. We did want to do the tour, but I think it was met with like friction at the start for sure. Because it
Sure.
was, we've done 5 weeks and like that's been fun. We've had a great time, but like, we have jobs and partners, and asking for a month off work is a bit different to asking to 3 months off work. So
Yeah.
initial, like, I don't know how logistically it's going to work. But I think for a lot of us, kind of as a collective, it was like, let's just like do it because they're both of these tours are, they're incredible offer for the States. Like it's massive, massive rooms. And then
Mm.
go to touring with your two best mates in Europe in Thornhill and Ocean Grove.
Yeah.
So I think we've just got to do it. So it was met with friction, but I think with a bit of time and letting it simmer and kind of working out the logistics of it, we've kind of gone, yeah, let's give it a crack.
Yeah. It's also like in isolation. Like if we got one offer for one time, it'd be like an instant take, and then another offer, another.
Sure.
But it's because they were both at once. It was like, wow, it's really big when you look at it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess under the microscope, it makes it look bigger than it actually is. Although it
Mm.
is, it's still big. You touched on something then of like playing with your mates around the world. Do you think that I do notice this in the scene? Like Australia has such a lovely, encompassing scene of like, I love everyone in our scene, and I'm throwing myself in there because we're mates with all of you guys. And I mean all of you guys because every heavy band in Australia is just like, yeah, of course we like want to play with our friends in other bands. And it's such a like I feel like it's such a great time for heavy music in Australia because not only are all of our bands so talented and so good and pushing the boundaries of what they can do, but there's also this sense of camaraderie between them. How's that feel coming up in a time like that? Because like metalcore, particularly in the past, didn't have that.
I think I think it gets to a point where it's like uh, there's not much ego, at least at the level that we're playing at. And the second you see another band that is, in our case, 9 times out of 10, a band that is bigger than you and they're doing something that's really cool, you're kind of like gravitated towards them. And I think I've been consistently surprised that like when I meet this band, there's no friction. It's kind of
Mm.
very like open and like I see you as an equal. I don't
Yeah,
see you.
cool.
I think we've been lucky because when Bloom started sort of picking up and growing, it was kind of coming out of COVID and there was just like a happy to be back, let's do music. And it was an experience that every band in Australia went through and we kind of got out the other side of, and touring came back, and I think everyone was just kind of in it for each other in a way.
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't really had much of an we've had what you're explaining of like that big community vibe. We've really rarely, if never, had that sort of like clashing of like, personalities or not getting along with the headliner or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool.
It is kind of lucky, like you were saying, Jono. Like even overseas bands that we're touring with as well have all been super welcoming, really nice. Like when we were playing before Spite, like all of us got along really well with them, and they weren't like standoffish at all, even though they were international coming over and playing like way heavier music than us. They were all
Yeah,
super lovely. Like when we were touring with Miss May I in the States, they were all super nice. Like they were like, come into the bandwagon if you want to. Like come hang out anytime if you want to.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever really had like a clash, like Jono was saying, like where it felt like really standoffish. Everyone's kind of been welcoming the whole time. It might also be because like I feel like sometimes we have the like mentality that we're kind of like new kids on the block, even though we've been around for 7 years, but it still kind of feels like we're opening these tours for all the people that we like already know and like feels like so much larger than life and stuff like that. We kind of feel like we're coming in like, oh, like we get to play with all of these like awesome acts. I
I
don't
mean,
know
you
if
talk about even
that
Miss Miller, they're an established like they're almost like a legacy metalcore band at this
mm,
Mm.
stage, which yeah, it's understandable to feel like, oh, they're the big dogs and we're like playing with them.
mm.
But
But
I think what you just
they never make you feel like that though, which is awesome. Like of
yeah,
all the bands I think that we've played with.
Yeah.
that's maybe that's like a testament to the longevity is the fact that like likable personality continues. There's like people want to continue playing with them. They continue to like amplify their success amongst their peers because they're also just good dudes. Is that a cool like maybe thing to focus on for you guys? To being like, we want to make sure that everyone likes us after every tour.
For a very long time, and even still to this day, we tour like one of our tour essentials is Nerf Vortex, the little
Oh,
fucking
I
whistle,
love those things. So
and
good.
it has proven like on every single tour to be the ultimate icebreaker. We bring it to Europe, we brought it to the States, we've run on every Australian run because there's something about just like ball sport and like throwing and catching that really those first day nerves are completely like melts away any of that sort of iciness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun because you don't even need to talk. You can just hold the thing and go.
Shake around so it whistles a bit. We're good to go.
Yeah, like that's a hello.
I think like it's just been we very much bring kind of like what Jack was saying of like the new kids on the block. We also kind of have this like underdog kind of mentality where I think we show up to a tour, we have our whistling toy and we're like excitable and friendly. And I think that just puts us off on a really good note. And that's not us doing an act or anything. I think that's just who we are as people. And I
Sure.
think that's why we've been able to, you know, develop such like close friendships with Thornhill, with Ocean Grove, with Void of Vision, like our peers, is because we toured with these bands and we brought that like youthfulness. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
like
Excitability.
yeah,
Puppy dog
excitability.
We
energy.
have,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good thing to have. That's the whole reason this challenge is people like it. I suck, but Johnny's just a giant puppy dog and people love it. So it works really well.
Hell
You
yeah.
did say then though that you're like the underdog energy, and I don't think you're gonna get away with that for much longer because you guys are consistently releasing bangers. And I've watched you over the past, like since COVID, essentially, like each tour, there's like a newfound confidence, comfortability in your performances on stage, in the way you guys present yourselves, of like we deserve to be here, we belong on this stage, and you're releasing music that is justifiably popular. The last few tracks we've checked out on the channel from you guys and the upcoming new release, fucking slap. Well done.
Hell yeah.
thank you. I can't wait to be the overdog. Being an overdog would be awesome.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, wow.
I think we've just got like that we've got it ingrained in us from like we've been the opening band for a very long time. And I fuck with being the opening band. You get a sound check and you get to like surprise people.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, and we've been doing that for so long and I think that's we kind of have like a confidence that's born from being the first band that goes on the stage. We're kind of like
Yeah.
at the tone for the night in a way. Like, we're still, it might still be to 20 people in the early days, but we still had to go out on stage and be the first one on and be the first band that plays.
Mm.
Doing that so many times and for so many years, like kind of built up that confidence. Like Jack was saying, playing below Spite on the Make Them Suffer run, like they're
Yeah.
playing eight tunings lower than we are, and like
And
eh,
looking like madmen on stage.
their
Travis is
drummer,
doing things I'd never seen before.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's musicians that are absolutely cracked, and there's us, and we have the choice to either like kind of be a bit cowardly and like just do what we can and let out like our nerves or like inner voice kind of dilute our performance, or we just go out there and we just fucking rip it. And I think we've been in so many situations where we're like, we're the first band on and we've just got to fucking go balls to the wall.
Yeah. Is there any does that play in your head at all when you're coming into like a tour, like you said, they're playing with Spider, make them suffer, where it is you guys are a heavy band, but it's a different kind of heavy. Is there any part of that makes you think like, okay, well, we need to steer this direction or we need to lean into this bit more? Or do you do the opposite of like, we're just gonna do us and play us the way we play, and hopefully that's enough there? Like as you said, you've been able to be the underdogs, the openers for so long, for so many different kind of tours. Do you approach each tour differently, or is it always the same sort of approach each time?
There's a
There's a direction. Yeah, there is definitely a direction for like when we're playing with Make Them Suffer and Spite, we're like, oh, we need to like turn up on the set. So like what's our like all of our high energy songs? What's the songs we can get people moving, get people really going, and then like maybe we'll throw in like something really soft to really set us apart kind of thing.
Yeah,
So it's like there's definitely consideration when making a set list for any tour that we go on to like do ourselves the most favors in like how are we going to win over this audience where 70% of them maybe probably haven't listened to us before. Like
yeah,
how can we put our best foot forward? But also our catalog isn't gigantic. So it's not like we can pull from
yeah. Four or
like
five albums
50
worth.
songs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna I was gonna say like I felt like a little bit like when we had less material out, we do a pop punk show one weekend and then we do like a hardcore show the next and like this and that, and we kind of would like shape our set lists around the tone of the show. I think now, especially in the last year or so, we've kind of been able to like we have quite a few bangers. We've written some really good songs, and I think there's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, where we're like, we're not going to play the heaviest song on a Silverstein tour, or our set list won't be just like non-stop breakdowns on a Silverstein tour like it would be.
yeah.
But we still are like, we can play a soft song and on a heavy lineup, and we know that it's still gonna translate and work because like we think this song is great, and we kind of have the confidence that like there's going to be a few people out in the crowd there that also think this song is great. So if it's someone who's just there for breakdowns, they're going to experience something that they would never hear from any other band.
Yeah.
And for the people that have come to the show that are already Bloom fans, they get to experience the wider scope of everything.
And with that being said, leaning into the writing, recording process for The Light We Chase. I got that right? The Light We Chase?
Yeah.
Great. It's not out yet. It's always hard to remember album titles that aren't out yet. How does that play into in like terms of the writing dynamics and where you're leaning? Like, because you've been able to play with so many bands, you've had so many like experiences of watching what goes off live, but that would make it so hard when you've got different crowds watching different time in order to kind of get a vibe for what you want. Did you keep that in mind and been like, okay, this is what the crowd likes, or this is what we seen go off, or is it more just like this is what feels right to us and what we want to write this time around?
In a very like under the microscope sense, there were definitely parts of the album writing process that was like how like what can we do to amplify this live.
Yeah,
So for second track, Forget Me Not, we spent like a good hour trying it at 180 BPM, 181 BPM, all the way up to 185. And we would stand in the room, we would jump. And it was like, what is the tempo for when we play this song live? What is going to be
What's
like the
gonna
what's the
yeah,
what Um, but I don't think when you look at it big picture, we really had much consideration of like, oh, this song, like we need to write a song with a whoa for the crowd. Like, I don't think that's how we really approach writing. I think it's almost become the opposite of that, where we like have a bit more confidence going into album two, that it's like we can kind of do what we want to do, and we back ourselves enough to feel like it's gonna work. Because that's kind of what we've established for ourselves. Like, for example, we first single's Withered. It's our heaviest song, it's got a silly,
It crushes.
stupid
Yeah.
and then the second single, without any real warning, it's an acoustic song. It's a
Yeah.
it's a means a lot to you style song. I like to me, like it felt like a pretty ballsy thing to go out and be like, here's a really heavy song and here's a really soft acoustic song, and like piece together what you will of what this album's gonna sound like. But
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
we were only able to do that because we had confidence of like kind of doing the softer song on maybe in another life, like doing You and I and Exit, and kind of dabbling in both of those worlds. When it came around to album two, we were like, let's push it even further out and really flex every muscle that we've got.
Yeah,
I
I think
like the
that
reference then to if it means a lot to you, because that's exactly where my head went with that. Of like, oh, that's that vibe. Also, like
Yeah,
the call and response style type thing. Like it works,
yeah.
yeah, really, really well. Good reference. Sorry, go on, Jack.
Yeah, I think I agree with what John's saying that like I think holistically we approach songwriting like we need to make all of these songs like for ourselves and like for all of the things that we like and appreciate and admire, and that's all like the first priority. But then there are some parts of the songs that we write that we're like, oh, this would be really sick if like Jono was saying, if like the jump tempo was like just perfectly on enough that like it would be really cool. It'd be a cool crowd moment to do.
Yeah,
So it's like considered as like after the priority of like we want to do all of these things because like we want to make like the best song that we can. We want to make the best album we can. We want to make the best art that we can. And then down when it gets down to like the nitty gritty and like these little sections where like, oh, this might be a sick moment.
I like that. There are a few guests on this one. Was that again something we thought of in the writing process, or did it get to it after me and like, oh, like Pat would be cool on this one, or this is very Jack leaning? Like, how'd that come to go together?
We knew we were going to get features because it's something that we didn't do it on the last record. We did it on In Passing, but it was a very like it was a very, we're early to music. This is our
Yeah.
first release, sort of new for
And
this one.
we wanted to as well, but I don't think on the first record anything like really made sense. It
Yeah.
felt like
Sure.
we would have been like shoehorning it in. But with this one, we're like, features will work on this one.
Sure.
The Pat one was really special because the working title for the song that Pat features on is called Daylily. We often just kind of be like,
Okay,
this
cool.
and here's a song. Like that's just a
Yeah.
working title. And it was kind of like well, like none of us personally know Pat. We've never met Movements. We've never toured with Movements. And it was a conversation we had with Pure Noise. And they were like, oh, yeah, this guy at Pure Noise, he knows Pat pretty closely. I'll send him a message. And it was within a few days. It was like, yeah, Pat's keen to do the song. He loves your band. Jump on. Which
That's cool.
is,
He's a sweetheart too.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
And like for that to even happen, we were like, fuck, we've got our feature. Like we're
We
sorted.
kind of we like Ollie like manifested it early. I think like he kind of always had Pat in mind for a feature because like we always kind of go into it being like we want probably features on this album. I think it was written kind of with Pat in mind to be like if we could get Pat for this song, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
And but it never really like the cogs didn't start turning until like we had already kind of written the whole thing. Like there was already vocals on it and all of the melodies and stuff were done. And we were like, we should just try and get Pat on this song.
Yeah.
And
The Jack
manifested. I like that.
the Jack and Michaela ones were cool because that's just your friends.
Yeah.
So like I did a feature on the Yours Truly record last year, and it was very much like a thing of like, fuck, it'd be awesome to get Mick on the record and go tit for tat. So getting her on it, and it made complete sense with the song. Like Jared brought the demo for Tongue Tied to us, and it was like, this song is perfect, but like, fuck, we could really like turn that sadness style one more by like putting in that other perspective.
Yeah.
Jack Bergen's just fuck. That's just Jack Bergen, man. Like you,
Yeah.
I love that guy so much, and
There was
He's
a
something
running
special, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was like a running like bit almost in the studio that Sammy would always say that Jack Bergen can do this in one take to Jono. Like whenever he was vocal tracking, he was like, Jack Bergen wouldn't take this long. Like Jack
Yeah.
Bergen would crush this the first go.
No
So
pressure. Did he?
yeah,
He was good. He was good, but maybe Sammy kind of inflated his.
Throw him on the bus. It was 3 takes and we were very disappointed.
I was like, you know, Sammy has set the expectation pretty high. Poor guy's like last show, like 3 months ago, probably hasn't screamed since. I was like, I need you to do a perfect take, otherwise my perception of you is ruined.
Yeah, you cut from the album.
Yeah, exactly. But no, crushed it, and it was just cool because especially the Pat and especially the Jack and Mick features, it didn't feel like there was like like there was no nervousness energy like there was when
Yeah.
it was like, these are my friends, and I'm so stoked to have my friends who are extremely talented jump onto this record. Not that Pat's not my friend. I hope I've got him.
shout out Pat.
Yeah,
Now, yeah, now.
uh,
Yeah, I
that,
get that though. It's like a when you first manifesting it and trying to put it out there, it's someone you don't know, you don't have that connection with.
sending that first
It's
message to Pat from Movements, I was like, I've got to make this perfect. Like, how do I seem cool?
What if there's too many full stops?
Yeah, is three
okay.
too
There's
many?
a question. Who's the coolest person you have in your phone?
I'd be Pat from Movements.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah. We're not that. I guess I mean maybe some of the Thornhill guys now that they're an arena band.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The Thorny dudes they're gonna be. This is gonna change everything for them.
I know.
Which you guys get to like kind of reap the benefits of that too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
That's so
awesome.
good. Do you
Well
have anyone?
deserved though.
Yeah,
What was
we
that,
love
sir?
them.
Do you have anyone cool on your phone?
Yeah, I've been crazy lucky over the years to have like because I did socials and weird stuff before I did like music as a part of my job. I have like weird celebrities in my phone and stuff that I'm like, "Well, that how's that?" Like, do you watch Modern Family?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cam from Modern Family, like the redhead. I like went to a pool party at his house and he cooked me a barbecue. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, like one of those things where I look back
That's
on and being
awesome.
like, why did that happen? That's, but from like a music perspective, I've got like, we've been so lucky. As you were saying, everyone's been so welcoming to us, particularly me. Johnny has credibility in the space. He actually plays an instrument. He's been in bands, he's toured. I don't belong here, like, actually. I'm just a fan of music, and so it's a really weird thing to be like August Burns Red was always my favorite metalcore band. I loved them, and to have like Jake text me on the regular just to be like, "I'm so proud of you, man. You're doing great things. I watched this thing. I thought of you or something." Every time something like that happens, I'm like a bit chuffed because I'm like, that's a dude that I've looked up to since I was in high school, and now just like is a homie.
that's
That's a
awesome.
cool thing. But I
Fuck,
think
that's sick.
yeah, it's I don't know, try and be nice and people are nice to you. That's the
Yeah.
secret.
It is
But
surreal when stuff like that happens. Huh. It's like you have this like you probably had this idea of him in your head for so long and then he's like actually real now.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's so strange.
There's been okay. What is there any bands that you like that would be one that we'd have like trouble wrapping our heads around playing with?
I think there's kind of a any. I can't think of one specifically off the dome that's not like a arena sized band. But I think we're still like even when we toured with Silverstein, like I wasn't, admittedly I wasn't like a Silverstein kid growing up, but like their impact on
Yeah, you
our
know
scene,
the reach and
like
what they've done.
you and also like, it's the first time we're going to Europe. You see the capacity of these rooms. There's like a lot of nervousness. Like I especially when it's a band that's been around for so long and has done like incredible accolades and it's their full-time career and has been for over like 20 years.
Yeah,
There's fuck like I'm the new kid on the block. Like I don't know how to approach this conversation, but kind of like we were saying before, every time we've met one of these bands that we've toured with, it has just been like no ego, no bullshit, just like welcome, like you're one of us, we see you as an equal. So yeah, I think really any band that we've toured with, especially overseas, like Jack was saying with Miss May I as well, there's always that like, fuck, like I can't believe we're doing this. But
Yeah.
so quickly gets shattered when you have one conversation and you're like, oh, you just are a chill person.
Have you ever had the opposite? You don't have to name drop here, but have you ever had any experiences you're like, that wasn't as nice as I expected?
No. And I'm
That's
pretty happy with
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's rad. Yeah, I like that. We've had ones where it's been hyped up to be like, this is going to be like, you've got your limited time and like, this is what you get in, get it done. And there's a lot of pressure. And even then, we've had like, shout out Janine, who's sitting in the background of this call. We did Corn for Good Things last year, and it was like a last minute. They've said yes, you've got like 10-minute window, do this, and we get there and we were chatting with Monkey, and it was end up being a way longer than we we're allotted time slot, and he was so chill and cool and nice that like all the pressure melted away. And we got like a really great interview, but you're like, what's happened in the past to make them be like, don't look at them sideways, don't do this, you can't do that. And then you
I
didn't
think
get that experience, which is
I
cool.
think blow smoke up you and Johnny's ass. But I think it also helps when you're just like a very easygoing, like approachable, you know, light person to deal with. Like having a conversation with you doesn't really feel like we're doing an interview. It just kind of feels like we're chatting. And I think
It's the guy.
that
Catching up with friends.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's probably more of a testament to you guys than it is like you the reason you were able to make a 10-minute interview with Corn, go for much longer and feel much more like, just chatting with friends is probably more of a testament to your character than really anything else.
Thank you. I'm actually okay taking compliments. I do appreciate that, but I'm gonna flip this one. It was 100% him. He was just really chill and cool, and we were just sitting there the whole time, being like, "Ah, this is so exciting." So, all right. So let's manifest more. You've got Patrick on the album. Let's manifest some tours for the future because we've had really good luck with this of talking to people, and then like a tour's been announced minutes later. So, what's a goal for you? What's a band you want to play with?
I would love to do it's a very simpleton answer, but I think doing a tour with Bring Me the Horizon would be
Hmm.
such a year on. Like you've done it. Like
Yeah,
in terms of like the pillar bands in the scene, it's like once you do a tour, and I guess it's like, what Thornhill are doing with Sleep Token now. Like we were saying before, that band is a completely different band now in terms
yeah,
of their professionalism, their stage production, all of their elements have been completely elevated by this opportunity. I think
yeah,
tour with Bring Me the Horizon would be such a like you've done it. Like that's the end game. You are now able to like confidently and comfortably say like you are a professional musician. You've kind of
Okay.
It'll help the imposter syndrome.
yeah. I think that's
I reckon you say that and you're like, but we only played with them twice. We didn't do a full tour. I feel like that's that every time. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. Imposter syndrome doesn't go away. I don't think for anyone. It's just like the next. I'm sure the dudes in Bring Me are like, imagine doing a full tour with Slipknot. That would be crazy. It's just, I don't know. There's always a next level. But I do agree. I think that would also be a great fit for you. I was talking to Landon from Plot the other day because they've just finished
yeah.
the Bring Me run and they just got announced for the next bit too. And he was saying the same. He's like, it's crazy playing like metalcore to arenas every night of this like, that scope. It's such a cool thing for the genre to be like
Yeah.
seeing it supported in that way. When you guys were coming out, particularly after COVID, did you see the trajectory that heavy music was having? Did you feel that from like a grassroots level of like, oh, people are paying more attention to this than ever before?
Slowly but surely, I would say yes. I don't think I think I've only kind of clocked it in the last couple of years with like Spirit Box, Knocked Loose, Sleep Token
Mhm.
being billboard bands, like bands that are selling more tickets than I can even fathom.
I
Yeah,
would I would agree. I think
Even to
the
make
sorry.
them domestically are selling boatloads of tickets. And I think
yeah,
it's on hindsight of like, I remember shows, when 18, 19, 20. I'd see a band sell out Crowbar in Sydney or like Factory Theatre and be like, this band is fucking massive. And
yeah,
now like that has gone so much bigger. Um,
Yeah.
only when you kind of like stop and you look back at like the last few years of bands that are, Grammy or Grammy winning bands, or like what Speed is doing, Turnstile playing to 500 billion people every night on
Yeah.
a, you're like, holy shit, like metalcore's in vogue, or like
Mm.
Distorted go back. Um,
Yeah.
I
Luca's
almost think
momentum.
uh, I was gonna say I almost think that Knocked Loose were like almost the like example or like uh emblematic of the whole scene in a way, I guess, since like COVID. I remember we did Invasion Fest in COVID. Oh, was it just before
It was
COVID?
just before, it was January
Just
2020.
before. And
Okay.
like Knocked Loose headlined that, and that was at the Metro Theater, and it was like a big festival. But I
Yeah.
remember at that festival, like Justice for the Damned played, and it felt like they were like headlining the whole thing. And it was like that festival was like the first one where I was like, oh, like the foundations are getting laid here. Like everyone is like really, really into this in like a way that I didn't really expect. And
Mm,
then COVID happened, obviously, everything dipped back down. And then it came up, and then Knocked Loose just went like
yeah.
straight up, and they just like kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I feel like that as they've like gone from like doing tours in vans and like sleeping in the van to like doing these like massive shows, it's kind of how the genre has risen as well
Yeah.
over like the same time. It might be like a rising tide lifts all boats type thing where it's just like the genre is getting huge, so all of the bands in the genre and everything is like kind of lifting up together. But it is very interesting. When we're going to shows at like youth centers, like Oceano came and played a youth center when we were 16 years old, and they were from overseas, and it was like 100 people in the room.
Yeah.
And that at that point I was like, metal's so sick, metal's awesome. It's like so, but like to go from that to like what metalcore is now is just crazy.
Where you say seeing a band, Johnny and I watched Bring Me play at a youth center on the coast here to 100 people, which
Fucking
Yeah.
is
hell.
pretty wild. To be like, and then I went and watched them 2 nights in a row play arenas in Sydney last year. Like, that's a cool thing. We've noticed it from like, obviously, we're very like finger on the pulse on the internet because of what we do and how much community feed directly into us. And I think that's a really big thing that's people who like the heavy scene want to champion it. And so they're sharing it around. And I feel like it's like, as you said, the rising tide lifts all ships. It's not just the bands also lifting the other bands up. It's also like the people, the crowd, the people who are watching this interview right now are all like showing love and supporting the bands. It feels like a really positive, encompassing thing. And also like Knock Loose, for example, of like, that's just like a stupid heavy band. Not that they're stupid, it's stupidly heavy, but the people that are behind it are like so happy and pumped to see this music like championed. It's allowing other bands to be like, well, I guess we can do that too. Like,
Mm.
as you
Yeah.
said,
And
Spirit Box the
also,
next up there, and like,
yeah, also like we can do like just us. Like we don't need to appeal to like any kind
yeah,
of set boundary or anything. Like if Knocked Loose can get so big, being like so, so heavy, then like you can kind of do anything. It leaves you so much more open to go down like any kind of artistic route that you want because like it's
yeah,
possible. Like it feels possible.
it's exciting. It's exciting to be time to be part of it. I think, as you said, like you guys are debuting album very soon to like have a bit more under your belts, but also still be rising along with it is really, really exciting. I think this is one of the ones we've said this before. Like again, we're not blowing smoke there. You're a band to watch because you're doing something that is very authentically you, continually elevating yourselves and your craft each release, and the live experiences coming with it. And also like that's backed by like look how many bands are actively wanting to play with you. You've said like, oh, we've opened just continuously, but that's such a cool thing to be continuously picked as the opener because
Mm.
people want this young band to do it and bring it up. I think that's really exciting. With that being said, I want to close this out so I don't steal too much of your time and talk about the album once more. I want to hear both of your favorite tracks, and then Johnny normally asks this question because he gets to be the bad guy. But if you had to cut one song from the album, what would it be?
Hmm. Favorite tracks, I would say, because the album, I'm actually going to pick two because the album
Okay,
kind of has two different paths and you can't tell me what to do. I would say my favorite heavy song is probably Withered, just in terms
okay,
of the style of writing and especially like the lyrics on that, writing a song about like how being in a band isn't always like the greatest thing in the world, was kind of it was a really it was a challenge to write, and it was even a challenge to bring up or like have the conversation internally about like, let's write a song about like how we've been doing this for 8 years and sometimes it feels like it's more pain than it's worth. So I
Yeah.
think that really nicely. And then I'll also say Keep You as the best of the softer songs on there, the song with Pat on it, just
Yeah.
because that's fucking awesome. If I had to cut a song, I would cut Only Sky, solely because I don't think it has legs to be played live. Um,
Oh, that's a cool perspective to take. Is that okay? Jack, we will get to you, I promise, but I want to continue on this train of thought. Is that something when you're writing of like you're writing just the song that needs to be written, or is there like we're probably never going to get to play this live while we're writing it, and you know that at the time?
Not really. I think like by no means could that song never be played live. I think it's more so when we are constructing our set list these days, it's like, let's keep energy. We're either going to go for like a big sing along song or we're going to go for a high energy song. And Only Sky, similar to
It's a
Carve.
conceptual song.
Yeah, exactly. Carve Yourself
Oh,
Up is big and spacey and ambient and crescendos to a big moment, and Only Sky does a similar thing. And like I love when bands do that shit live, but most of the time the shows that we're playing, we've got 30 minutes to win you over, so we don't have a minute and a half of your attention to like build up this atmos heavy song. I don't think
yet.
Yeah, yet. I don't think there's much of a consideration of like, oh, we can't write this song because we won't play it live. Because really, we could play any song live, but I
Yeah,
think we just have to be a little bit strategic with how we're mapping out our set lists.
sure. All right, Jack, your answer.
My answer actually is the exact same as Jono's, which is really, really boring. But my favorite song
Ooh,
on the album is Keep You. And I also agree that if I was to cut one, it would be Only Sky for the same reason that is like a very atmospheric track.
sure. I
Um,
do agree though, that those are like I love those songs live, and I love the experience of getting to see that when bands get to headline because it doesn't make sense to do that as support. I understand that, but I'm just going to manifest that you're going to be doing the
Accept it.
album tour sometime in the next year, and you'll play that song, and I'll be like, "You did it!"
On
I
our
think
we get to swing our I was about to say swing our dicks a little bit more, but I don't know if that's the right. We,
Nah,
we get-
Johnny's not here. Someone's got to say it.
yeah, on a headline, we have the breathing room to
Yeah,
ebb and flow in the set. But I think one of the things that's won us as a solid support option is we minute max when we're doing a support slot. We get 30 minutes and we are like
we're
uh,
filling them up.
I can
like,
confirm. I've seen you play it many, many times, and you guys
yeah.
get some songs in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. We're talking about the set list for the Thornhill tour, and I'm like, 30 minutes, we probably do like 9, 10 songs.
You can get an album done,
So
right?
many.
We'll stay within our 30 minutes, but like maybe I'll just have like 1 minute of a little bit of like, I can take one sip of water here, I can speak for 1 minute here, and the rest of the time it's songs.
What
You're
about
wrong.
winning the crowd over though? Like when you coming from like a Thornhill who will have a lot of fresh eyes on them off the back of this Sleep Token tour, do you feel like as much as you need to play as much music as you can, you also need to sell yourselves and like win the crowd over with a bit of charisma? Because you guys are charming fellows. You need to kind of let people know that there's like some cool dudes behind that. Do you feel pressure on that, being behind the mic and having to be like,
No,
love
I
us?
think one thing that I've said this so many billions of times, it's like a script now. But like one thing that I have always brought as my duty of frontman is like, just be so earnest. Just be completely authentic. And some people are gonna fuck with that. Some people are not gonna fuck with that. It's funny because the genre we play is like very, it's either very angry or it's very sad. And
Yep.
a lot, if we have a conversation, we'll be laughing and cracking jokes between songs. We're keeping it light. And I think it's just that authenticity or like almost a humbleness that I just carry as a person. I think we all do as members of the band. And I think just having that has helped kind of grow the band and win over people because we've kind of got these two aspects of like we play a really tight live show, but then also we're just dudes, like we're just a couple of
Yeah,
guys.
just bros broing out.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's been
All right,
dudes.
final question for you. And this is one that I've only just started asking people, but I'm always so interested in this. What are you guys listening to right now? What's on your playlist? What's a band that you're fucking with at the moment? I don't just be bros here. I don't need to have the cool dude, no one's heard of this band thing unless you've got one. You can be like, oh, I just love Bringing the Horizon. I've been listening to them on repeat and I'll fuck with that. I'm just so curious as to what you guys are listening to at the moment.
I listened to the Geese record today, and I thought that was really good. I feel like
Cool.
noise rock is like really massive right now and really, really good. There's like
Yeah.
Maruja, Geese, and model slash actress. They all
Oh, I
released
don't know Model
albums
Fast
recently.
Actress.
Yeah, they released an album called Pirouette this year, and
Okay,
it's
I'll check it out.
awesome. It's really, really good. It's kind of like
Sick.
it's like a really angry Black Country New Road,
Yeah,
or
okay.
like
Sick.
sinister Black Country New Road.
Uh, I would say the Shady Nasty record that came out this year, they're a band from Sydney. It's like Aussie rap with like shoegaze elements. I saw them last week. They're fucking awesome. That record came out this year. I loved that.
Okay.
I love the new Psycho Frame record as
I
well.
don't know Psycho from either.
Psycho Frame are just like it's like Infinite Annihilator spec core.
Okay, sure.
And then Gigi Perez is a sad girl with an acoustic guitar and put out an album this year, and I love that as well. So those are my three
We're all a
picks.
bit of sad girls at heart. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
great. I love
My
that. I love that I discovered some new bands.
my most listened to album of this year is definitely the Lisa solo album from Blackpink.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Oh,
like
are
by
you a
far.
Blackpink fan or just like a Lisa fan?
I'm like I was not really a huge Blackpink fan. I've always liked their songs, but I wouldn't say I was like a super fan or anything. But the Lisa solo album and the Jennie solo album that came out, I really like them.
Cool. Blackpink, we actually talked about them yesterday. Johnny and I did the new Taylor Swift song, and we had a massive argument on it. It's a 22-minute video because we just argued for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I like Taylor Swift and I'm like interested in the whole pop culture thing. Johnny doesn't like it. And we talked about Blackpink though. And I was like, our number one video of all time that we've ever done is a Blackpink song. It has like 1.4 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's just us watching Blackpink. It makes no sense. But the fandom of K-pop and that band in particular,
It's
I can't
absurd.
wrap my hand around that.
Yeah,
It's
it's absurd.
insane.
Yeah.
But cool to see them like also branching off, and I'll have to check that out because I didn't give it a go to be honest. I haven't
Yeah.
listened to that.
You've
It's
been
all I
big.
love it.
You've been like whenever we're riding together and Jack's on the aux, you are getting like a nightclub MDMA jaw swinging like thumping bass type beat
Yo,
you've put on the Lisa album. There's like it's cranking the volume because it's got like just that nightclub energy.
yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
I like a bit of that. I never was. I used to be like hell into like electro, like when that was. I'm older than you guys. You guys are all young and youthful and beautiful. I'm quite old, and so I was around for like when Justice was like really big and
Mm,
like Panau first came out and the presets, like that era of electro.
awesome.
And I feel like there's a bit of a resurgence of that coming through and some new stuff, and I'm loving it.
It's the
Yeah,
It's
the
Fred
so
new
good.
the new Blackpink song is like really like old school techno. I can't remember I think it's like Diplo that did the production on it, but
Oh,
it has this
okay.
like it's awesome. That it's really good.
Sick. All right, yeah, I'll check that out. I dig that. That's cool. All
I
right,
think
well,
Fred again pioneered the like resurgence of like house house music and like beat pat like that genre has gone back just like Knock Loose pioneered heavy music in the
yeah.
culture. I think like Fred again has like made just like house beats cool again.
Did you see him when he was out last
I
year?
did
I
you,
did,
Jack?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I saw him at Laneway.
Okay, oh, he's from Laneway. We went, ended up getting tickets to see him in Sydney, and we went along because he played like 5 nights or something at
Yeah,
Chaos. It was
crazy.
insane. And we went along to one, and Court and I, like, I'm not a party, druggy, and like 99% of the people there were like, they were there and they were
Yeah.
living. I still had a great time surrounded by it because I was like fascinated by him. And what you were saying before about like being like earnest and authentic, I think that's what makes him really special is that there's like an authenticity of just like, look how fun it is. This thing I made on my laptop and now I get to share it with you. I reckon that's the reason why that's kicked off. And I think that might even be the case for like the knock loose type factor as well. They're just
Yeah.
doing something that they're like authentically in love with.
Yeah.
There's something there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That is something that's I'm seeing more and more of. I'm seeing Rufus in a few weeks. I'm pumped for that because
Sick.
they're again house done just really, really well. So,
That'd be sick.
dudes,
Awesome.
I'm so pumped for you. I'm genuinely proud of you for the growth that we've been able to witness in the last few years that we've known you. The new album, The Light We Chase, is awesome. It elevates what you've done previously and brings this new chapter. And I'm so excited for you to get across some new eyes on this tour. How much of it are you getting to play?
We're gonna do what we can. I think we'll change up the set list between the two tours. We
Okay.
start all the albums out, and I think we're gonna try and do around like 50-50 of new stuff and old stuff.
Yeah,
And then the albums out and we head to America, we'll have an internal discussion of like what songs are popping. We'll maybe try a few things out on the Thornhill tour and then, refine it. The cool thing is like we can change it up. No one's telling us what we have to play. If there's a
that's
song
true.
that's, yeah, we want to play this, we'll just play it. You
I
can't
like
stop it.
that.
We'll play Only Sky just to see if it works.
Yeah,
Please
exactly.
do.
A
Please
whole
film it for
set
me. I
of
want to
just
go for on camera.
Atmos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm here for it.
Own
Oh,
for-
you got my support. All right, dude. It's so good to see you. Congratulations. And I look forward to seeing you play here again sometime in the not too distant future.
Absolutely.
Legend.
Well,
Thanks, boys.
thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much.